Cory, that I haven't done a singlet interview with just like an adult in like it's been years, right? Normally we do them like post match when dudes are fired up and win, but I like the spirit of you coming in to coach's office and do it. Is it a match simulation day? What's going on with the singlet?
No, I just wrestle every single day in my singlet just to kind of get the feel for, I don't know, I feel like when I wear sweats and I go into a match, it's weird being vulnerable, I guess, or wearing your singlet and just, I don't know, I just like to compete and practice the way that it's going to feel in the match, so I just wear my singlet every day.
Well, that's what everybody actually should do.
Right, yeah, I've been taught that growing up, when like you said, match simulation days, they're always like, wear your singlet, wear your singlet, so I just do it every day now.
So you were an All-American 2 years ago at 133.
Yes, sir.
How did you make 133 pounds?
At the time, I only weighed like, I don't know, it's like 140. I never really been big on cutting weight. Like, that was like the heaviest I was. And, 2 years goes by, and I don't know, I made a lot of gains over the last like 6 months, especially being hurt and not being able to practice. So just focusing on the weight room and trying to put some size on. And now I'm getting to that point where I'm another 6-7 pounds from 41, and I'm happy with that. So
yeah, you said like you're a workout away from making 41, like right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Sitting in here right now.
Right.
Hey, well, talking to James. James was an All-American at 165.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like the scale was his biggest problem. It felt like at 165 he really couldn't concentrate on wrestling. He wasn't really enjoying life.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't there, were you?
No, I've had times where I was definitely there, and that kind of pushed me to be like, that's not really what's important. I think just focusing on performance and getting better at this, especially at this stage in my life, is really just the most important thing. I can wrestle anywhere, I think. So, I'm just trying to get better every day, feel good, enjoy wrestling, and that's how I'm going to win the most matches.
The Penfold brothers never won state titles.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever win a state title in Michigan?
I won 3 state titles, undefeated seasons, and then I had a year that I took off. I actually didn't compete at all. That's when I guess that's why I'm not 4-timer, in my opinion, a lot of people's opinions, I guess. But I won a couple state titles.
So those guys come here and they have this huge upside. What do you think has been the key for you to like enjoy wrestling, be a college All-American, have a chance to win a national title this year? And you're still in it. You didn't have to come back this year. Mm-hmm. You came back, right? You had an injury, but didn't end how you wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
Why come back for another year? Why?
I just feel like I had some unfinished business. Wrestling at 33 last year, I was really close. In the semifinals, I was like 2-3 seconds away from sending me to the finals, on a close takedown. So I felt like having that year off, it just kind of lit a fire. I'm here to win. I believe that, and I think having these guys around me, like, Coach Boom and all, like James, the Penfolds, those guys have been a big support system for me too. So just them having that belief that, I'm going to be national champion, it just made me, I can't let this opportunity go. I have to come back.
Have you wrestled for all 3 coaches?
I just Coach Breeze, and then now Coach Boom.
Okay, Breeze and Boom, okay.
Right.
Why come to a place like this? Why you guys got such a strong Michigan connection here?
Yeah, when I was first out of high school, I went to North Dakota State. And, I just really far away, homesick, things like that, girlfriend stuff. And then, I was just kind of working I was doing merchandising for like a beer company.
You were out of wrestling?
Yeah, right.
How long?
It was like a year or so, but I was like working out and stuff. But I wasn't I wasn't training, I guess I wouldn't say, but I was hit up. I don't know if you know Coach Bearden, but he's like a huge guy for the program.
You gotta watch the podcast with him, dude.
Oh, right.
And when I sat down to the podcast, dude told me how he's whooping up on cancer right now, and
I know. Yeah.
The guy's awesome, man. Bearden's the man.
Yeah, he's badass. But he's a huge part of our program, and he actually reached out to me. And once I put my name in the portal, he was the first guy calling me up, and a lot of these guys at the time, I didn't know a lot about Lake Erie, but then when I saw, there's so many people that I knew from school and growing up that went here that, were always good wrestlers. So I was like, man, maybe I'll go check it out. And I just kind of fit in really good, especially with the past of knowing all these people. And it was just like, I'd rather be wrestling and competing with my friends than stocking beer and, entering the real world.
Talking about old man stuff, that's old man stuff.
Yeah.
Stocking beer shelves, right?
It was tough, yeah.
Dude, you've lived like a couple lives, it feels like.
I've been all over the place, yeah.
How many years in Fargo?
I just spent actually the first semester there.
So
and
you're just there for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so you're there for a cup of coffee. So I ask people this a lot. Like, I'm a guy who I wrestled D1 for 5 years. I probably should have been a D2 guy.
Okay.
What would you say to a kid who, and everybody thinks, everybody's parents think, like, my kid's D1, my kid's D1. And you're a 3-time state champ in Michigan, one of the best guys out of the state. What would you say to a kid who thinks it's all about D1? It's all about D1. And you were one of the best guys in the country coming out of high school. What would you say to that kid who maybe is thinking about a D2 or they're not thinking about a D2? What would you say to those kids who think it's D1 or bust? What would you say?
I mean, I definitely understand like what you'd be thinking, I guess, in that moment as a young guy, especially if you spent your entire life wrestling, if you're not going D1, they think it's kind of like a failure, or I don't know, if you've had that success, you want to be wrestling with those guys that you wrestled with when you were growing up at Fargo and stuff. And I don't know, me going through the process and being Division I and seeing all these different guys, I just know that, it's not all about wrestling. I think that there's bigger things in life than that, but it's really more about where you fit in as a person, what's going to make you the best overall, turn you into, I guess, just, become your best version of you.
Person.
Right, yeah.
Whole rounded person.
Right, exactly, and that's where they're going to lead you to do the best wrestling. So, I wouldn't say that there's not guys in Division II that could compete at the Division I level. Obviously, it's tougher, it's a little deeper there, but we definitely got good guys and it's good competition. And I think that I just found myself in a better support system and a smaller area where I could really be the best version of me.
Going up to 41, right? Is there any doubt in your mind you can't win 141 pounds at NCAA D2?
Absolutely not. I don't doubt that at all. I know that I can win the national title this year.
Is it something that you think about every day? Is it something that how do you approach it?
Yeah, I've been wrestling for so long now that everyone gets like nerves and you get a little, I guess, skittish, or you get like that butterfly buildup. And at this point, I don't really get I get nerves still to compete, but it's just more of excitement, especially knowing that like I just been in that situation so many times, I wrestled so many big matches. I just don't. It doesn't make me nervous anymore. I just want to go. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. And I've literally had dreams that felt so surreal that I woke up and I thought I had already won. It's a weird feeling. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I just work hard every day right now, and I got a good support system, and I just know that I'm going to be a national champion.
Donathan's the defending champ from Tiffany, beat your teammate in the finals last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? But your teammate beat him.
Right.
Right? Kind of went back and forth, but, Donathan got him, when it matters the most in the national finals. That's a guy. That's a guy you're going to have to go through at some point, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
They're right down the road. You're probably going to see him 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Right? Is that something where you mark it on the calendar and like that's the best guy? It's the preseason number one guy, right? Preseason number one guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys got a great schedule. You're wrestling West Lib. You guys are going to D1 opens. Do you feel like your schedule is going to have you ready at the March 2nd West Lib NCAA Regional? Do you think you're going to be ready to go?
Yeah, 100%. I think being able to see this guy, a couple times throughout the season is huge. It's exciting for me to just have that match because it's going to be a battle. And, I think wrestling good guys just gets me, pumped. I don't know, it's just more of an exciting thing because I respect these guys for being good and having that ability, but it makes me just want to perform my best and really just show that I'm one of those guys as well.
Didn't have to come back. You came back. What degree do you have? And how many degrees? Are you another one of the guys getting the master's degree? Everybody I've talked to, I'm getting the MBA. I'm the 4+1. Are you one of the guys getting the master's degree too?
Yeah, I didn't do the 4+1. I finished my undergrad last year, like when I sat out, and I had a finance degree and a bachelor's, and I'm working towards the master's right now while I'm finishing up my last season.
I just got to be honest. I don't see you with the undergrad and the master's stocking beer shelves. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
I was raised by a blue-collar guy. My dad was an iron worker, right? So there's no shame in that, but having these degrees, what does that do for you as far as now your career path is not stocking beer shelves, living in Michigan or wherever were you in Michigan?
I was in Michigan, yeah.
How's it changed the trajectory of your life?
I mean, it was huge. I was obviously still going to school at the time, working to try to be something better than what I was. But, now just having the opportunity to come here and have like a second chance, having that degree, I mean, I definitely feel a lot more confident in where I'm going and where I'm going to end up.
Is this like cherry on top? Coming back last year, making a run at a title, is this like the cherry on top?
Yeah, I definitely am not taking it for granted, I mean, I feel like there was some times where I did take wrestling for granted in the past, and having this last opportunity, like, I understand how important this is for me. And it's my dream, I've been wrestling my entire life, so.
I love it. You got anything else for me?
No, sir.
Where's your thing at? Where's your All-American certificate? Do you have one?
I do, yeah. It's actually in my car. I keep it in my car.
So we can break your window and steal it out of your car?
They could, I guess, but...
I won't do that. It won't be me. All right?
All right.
Cory, thank you for the time. Good luck to you moving forward and Ray John, man.
All right, thank you, sir.